Hey guys, I'm Tim, and today I'm going to talk about global warming. What is global warming? As we all know, global warming is the rise in the average temperature of the Earth's climate system and its relevant effects. The reason is that when people burn fossil fuels such as oil and coal, they will release vast amounts of carbon dioxide gases, which are called greenhouse gases. These greenhouse gases are highly transmissive to visible light from the solar radiation. They are highly absorbent to long-wave radiation emitted from Earth, which can strongly absorb infrared radiation from the ground radiation, increasing global temperature. What are the effects? The greenhouse effects the greenhouse effect continuously accumulates. The climate system becomes unbalanced, leading to the rise of temperature and global warming. Global warming will cause global precipitation redistribution, melting glaciers, and an increase in sea level. It is not only endanger imbalance of natural ecosystem, but also threatens the survival of humankind. How does the greenhouse effect plays a role? The main drivers of today's warming is the combustion of fossil fuels. These hydrocarbons heat the planet via the greenhouse effect, which was caused by the interaction between Earth's atmosphere and incoming radiation from the sun. The harm of global warming. First, it will cause glaciers to melt, sea levels to rise, and some coastal cities to disappear. Second, the heat energy brought by the rising temperature will provide enormous kin- kinetic energy to the air and the ocean. As a result, large or even super large typhoons, hurricanes, tsunami, and other disasters are formed, which seriously threaten traffic safety and residents' life safety. Third, higher carbon dioxide and warmer temperatures will encourage planets to blossom and produce more pollen, and the allergy season will last longer. Fourth, it is easier to aggravate the occurrence of the forest fire. Where the greenhouse gases come from? Carbon dioxide is the most common greenhouse gas. CO2 makes its way into the atmosphere through various routes. Burning fossil fuel releases CO2 and is, by far, the most significant the US contribution to emissions that warm the globe. According to the 2018 EPA report, US fossil fuel combustion, including electricity generation, released just over 5.8 billion tons of CO2 into the atmosphere in 2016. Other processes, such as non-energy use of fuels, iron and steel production, cement production, and waste incineration, boost the total annual CO2 release in the US to 7 billion tons. Methane. Globally, methane is the second most common greenhouse gas, but is the most efficient at trapping heat. The EPA reports that the methane is 25 times more efficient at trapping heat than carbon dioxide. According to the EPA, in 2016, gas accounted for about 10% of all US greenhouse gases emission. Methane can come from many natural sources, but humans cause a large portion of methane emissions through mining, natural gas, the mass raising of livestock, and the use of landfills. According to the EPA, cattle constitute the large single source of methane in the US, with the animals producing nearly 26% of the total methane emissions. The decreasing greenhouse gas emissions. There are some hopeful trends in the numbers for US greenhouse gas emissions. According to the 2018 EPA report, this emission rose 2.4% between 1990 and 2016, but declined by 1.9% between 2015 and 2016. Part of that decline was driven by a warm winter in 2016, which required less heating fuel than usual. But another significant reason for this recent decline is the replacement of the coal with the natural gas. According to the Center for Climate and Energy Solutions, The US is also transitioning from a manufacturing based economy to a less carbon intensive service economy. Fuel efficient vehicle and energy efficiency standards for buildings have also improved emissions, according to the EPA. The solution: climate change is driven primarily by the use of fossil fuel, and secondarily by greenhouse gas emissions through the deforestation, agriculture, and other less permanent causes. The primary way to solve the global warming is to eliminate the role of fossil fuel in the modern society wherever possible. This means the transitioning to the renewable and carbon-free energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydro, which cause less than 3% of the greenhouse gas emissions of fossil fuel energy sources. Secondarily, deforestation should be prevented and replaced with a sustainable forestry and land use practice, because plants breathe in the carbon dioxide and store it. They remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Thank you guys for listening.